Hey YouTube, thanks for coming and take a peek at this video. This is actually my first full-length video. I'm going to go over the process for that Goku in the middle of the KaioKen. I'm doing the anime series right now. If there is any other anime characters that you'd like to see me draw, comment down below. And you already know what I'm going to say. I'd really appreciate it. Any thumbs up, any subs, all the button clicks, man, I appreciate it a ton. So if you could do that for me, that would mean a lot. And I hope you enjoy this drawing process with the Goku and the KaioKen. Thanks. Okay guys, I'm going to do a little narration over this as we go, and I did try to slow this part down here. This is the concept part. This is the most important part of the illustration for me. This is slowed down so it's really glitchy, but me coming up with these compositions is where the inspiration even happens for me, and so you see that I got it there. I copy and paste up in the top left hand corner, but we're really just going off of shapes and a feeling. Even to get to that point right there, what I was doing was listening to music. There it is again. Listening to music and with my eyes closed, and it was DBZ dubstep music. And once I get it, it's all just shapes for me. Like it's just, I'm not saying the character is shapes, but just the composition is built off the shapes. So it's just whatever, whatever can fuel that inspiration. Unlike when I'm doing more traditional comic book illustrations, when I'm doing these types of things, I'm just completely free. Like I'm just in a flow state and I'm just going. I'm not worried about being anatomically correct. I'm not worried about the figure necessarily. I know I've been doing this a long time, so I know that I can push them. And so I just wanted to express the animalistic nature of the KaioKen, and I just wanted to take and put my spin on that, and so that's what was the inspiration behind it, and that's what you're seeing here. So then when I was in doing the concepts, I in the layouts, I knew that whatever shapes I decided had to be forceful and it was guiding the eye in the right way, and then obviously I also had to display the power. And this position could be pushed in a lot of ways. Like I could have taken the camera down so it was looking up at him, giving him that position of power. But then, unfortunately, like in this instance, what that does is it takes away from the overall feeling of the image for me. So again, I'm going off of that rectangular shape heavily, which you've seen when I was doing the layout. And now we're going, and you'll see it here. It's more dynamic to have one hand in one position and the other hand in another, because naturally, if you even like right now, if you were to like rage, try to get this position, naturally one hand would be doing something slightly different. And I did that right there because again, I've been over a decade. I've been a professional comic book illustrator, and you have to pick and choose what you're pushing. You know what I mean? You have to, and so I'm used to doing that. And that's why I was struggling with it, because it brought me out of that flow state for a second, and then, but in my mind's eye, when I knew what I was drawing, like in my head before I put this down, I wanted him completely squared up. That's why even like his biceps are squared up, his forearms are perfectly squared up. I wanted his posture upright and squared up to you. That shape is the shape that I was going for. It's difficult for me to articulate that properly because it's almost like a feeling. The shape is kind of coming off of a feeling, but I would say when I'm doing illustrations like this, it is as much part design work as it is the anatomical illustration that is being presented. So everything is done according. So even like if you look at the energy waves of the KaioKen behind him, that's all done within the style. And originally, I should probably wait to say this, but originally, you can kind of see it too in the top right hand and left hand corner behind it. I was actually going to do like this is what I was like in my brain. I was thinking to do almost like Renaissance church, like circular pattern shapes. Again, absolutely nothing to do with the scene. So if you get like too overly analytical on the scene itself, you lose that design. And this is just for me personally, that also takes me out of that flow state. I can't think. I just have to do and be and exist in that moment. And so, for whatever reason, when I was listening to the music with my eyes closed and I was getting the concepts, that's just what spoke to me. That's what I knew I wanted to do. And so you see them kind of loosely laid out back there. I'm not sure if in this it'll show me messing with them, which I did. I think I even inked them out, I think. Maybe I just went in the blue line. I'm actually watching this as it goes, so I'm not 100% sure what this is going to show. But either way, I laid them out, and then, once they were laid out, just because they made sense in my mind's eye, once they were there, I actually thought that the pattern took away from him a little bit too much. So then I ended up just using the halftones in there. And that was another thing. It's weird, the hierarchy of inspiration that I get when I'm doing these types of illustrations. Like, I would say it's design first, then the energy, and then the style. I could have rendered this out very deeply, but I knew I was inspired to use halftones. I knew the whole time I was going to use the halftones into doing this illustration. Yeah, let's see if we actually get into drawing those circles right here. I'm not sure if we do. But, I did. It was almost even against my natural will here. And actually right there with that energy that was going up over his shoulders, again, I could have did it. It would have added some layers to him and some dynamic... it would have added a dynamic element to the energy in the back, but it took away from the overall shape, and I couldn't do that because, like I said, on the hierarchy of inspiration, that was number one. So now you can see the halftones in the back. There I bring in an image of Goku because I wanted those classic tones that they use from the show. I just knew I wanted those in there, so I pulled those in for a reference there. I got the halftones laid out. Everything's laid out where I wanted to. I did not want to get too much with the halftones. I could have pushed and pulled them a little bit more, but again, it's going to take away from this overall feeling. And again, I can't stress enough how important it was to have this animalistic KaioKen feeling. I mean, I just think, in the anime, it almost kills him. So don't murder me in the comments if anyone comments on this, but I think he goes to 4 when he's fighting Vegeta in the Saiyan Saga, and it almost kills him. And so, I think that in the show they I don't want to act like I could correct anything, but that show, I wouldn't even be an illustrator if that show didn't exist. But in a reimagining of it, I think it would have made a lot more sense for that almost like Great Ape type of animalistic response to happen with the KaioKen because of how raw it is, like uncontrollable rage. So that's really what I was going for here, and I wanted the weight from the hands to his head to snap. Like, it almost looked like his arms had snapped down. Not that he was flexing hard necessarily, because then when you flex, right, your arms come in. It's like a recoil. But I wanted them down, like he had just launched his hands forward and his head up in the air in an instant. Poof! It snapped. And yelled. So that was the overall feeling in that. And now we're looking at the finished piece here, and it was a lot of fun to do it. I will share some of my more traditional comic book illustrations. Heavily rendered. Those are the 2 styles that I work within. But this style here, and maybe I'll put in some examples of it. This is just when I'm drawing for fun, when I'm just drawing for the love of the game. This is who I am. This is me. This is how I like to be drawing. This is pure inspiration, pure passion. I love this illustration, not because of its, the technical capabilities it took to do it. That has nothing to do with it for me. It's just, this is one of those illustrations that I know when I was a kid and I first started drawing, and when you first start out, regardless how talented you are, you're not good, and you can't do the things, you can't put what's happening in your mind's eye on the paper perfectly. And now after doing this my whole life, I can finally do that, and I know if kid me would have seen this again, I can't stress enough, this is not technically even top 100 of the best illustrations I've ever done, but top 1,000 probably even. But younger me would feel the passion and the inspiration behind this, and it just makes me happy. It brings me joy to do illustrations like this for fun still, and after drawing for more than 20 years and more than 10 years professionally, it's really quite a blessing to be able to do this and draw in this way and still have pure, unbounded love for the illustrations. And I'm still often hyper inspired by random artists that I see on Instagram or TikTok or wherever their stuff comes forward, because you can just read that passion, and it's really great. I'm really blessed to still have that feeling, because I know a lot of guys that I came up with, a lot of fellow artists, they once they turned it into a profession, it was a job for them, the same as working at a fast food restaurant. It's just a job, and they never draw for personal habit, passion. They only draw for work. And I gotta say, I know for a fact I would not be drawing if I still had to draw in that way. And so this feels good for me. Not only is it the anime that moved the needle for me the most, but my iteration of it is just a lot of fun, and it means a lot. So thanks for taking a peek, guys. Okay, guys, that wraps up that Goku drawing process. This is my first YouTube video, like full video. I have a couple of shorts out there, which I'd appreciate if you took a peek at. This is my first YouTube video for the very few people I'm sure who's going to watch it. I appreciate you taking the moment to watch it. It means a lot to me. Thanks for listening to me rant over that Goku for however long that video ends up being. I haven't even done the post yet, so I'll do some post edits now, but I really do appreciate it. I'm going to say the same thing everyone says. If you would hit that thumbs up, the subscribe, all the buttons, it's so appreciated, and I'm really going to be going hard at it over here, so it just kind of validates how hard I've been pushing for the content specifically. I'm going to be drawing all day every day regardless, but taking the time to put out decent content, any of those button clicks, they mean a lot, so I appreciate it. Thanks for sticking around. And just so you guys know, schedule-wise, I'm going to be I'm going to do one reel a day, Instagram, one YouTube short a day, one TikTok a day, 3 YouTube videos, like full-length videos like this one here. So if there's anything that you guys, if there's any questions, comments, concerns, if you want us, like I said in the shorts, if there's an anime character, because I'm in the anime series, if there's any anime character you want to see me draw in my style, like I got recently a couple requests too for the Berserk character, the main character in Berserk. Lost his name. Lost it again. Either way, so characters like that, if there's any character that you'd like to see in this style, then put in the shorts, or maybe even make it into a video like this, then just let me know. And if there's any other, if you have questions like, how did you get into the comic book industry, any points, things like that. If there's anything you'd like to see content-wise from me, help me out, help me help you, and those are the videos, because I'm going to really be trying to fill this up. So any ideas are appreciated, and I friggin' appreciate you guys. Thank you. Have a good day.